Hello students of S1A and S1B. Actually, I'm discussing this question in the last class today, question number 10. And we have done this part, so I'm just removing all this stuff. And now I'm going to discuss question number 10, how to solve question number 10, question number 19, and question number 18, 19 and 20. So last three questions of the exercise and question number 10. And if time allows, I'll solve one past exemption questions as well. So let's see how to solve this question. So first of all, I should pick up a snap from here. For question number 10 to question number 14, condition is given as along x-axis 1 centimeter equals to 1 unit, and along y-axis 1 centimeter. Along x-axis 2 centimeters equals to 1 unit, and along y-axis 1 centimeter to 1 unit. I picked up this snapshot, and now I'm going to share it in my Graphical Solutions notes. First of all, I'm going to draw my x-axis and y-axis. And listen students, it's very important point that if you complete the table of information earlier, that would help you to draw your axes at appropriate places on graph grid. Like if I complete a table of information first, let's suppose if I am writing values of x and y in a tabular form, as normally in examination question this kind of table is normally given. Some values are already calculated, some values are missing, so it's actually just to save your time for that calculation part and to directly come up to the graphical solution or plotting of graph and all that. So if I take different values of x from -2 till 4, if I consider all integer values at x equals to -2, this equation gives me -2 square is +4, -2 times -2 is again +4 and +2. So it's 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10. So at x equals to 2, y is coming 10. Let me check with my calculator as well. And remember, whenever you are substituting value as -2, use bracket first, then -2 whole square, then -2 times bracket open, -2 bracket close, +2, just 10. I think I should show my working here. For only one point I am just showing this working. Y equals to -2 whole square. This bracket is very important, otherwise this answer comes as -4. That's wrong, because -2 squared is minus minus plus, so it's positive value. And if you do not draw this bracket, you will get -4 and your answer goes wrong. And -2 times -2 plus 2. So this becomes 4 plus 4 plus 2, 4 plus 4 plus 2. So it becomes 8. 8 plus 2, that is 10. So this is how you should work out for each and every point. At x equals to -2, y is coming positive 10 as per interval given to us in the question. Now try a different value than -1. So I am taking minus 2 is done. Now I'm taking x as -1. So what value of y comes? You can directly use your calculator to find this value. I just showed this working just to make you understand how to do it. Otherwise you can do it in your calculator and directly state over here this answer is coming as 5. As per my calculation it's coming 5. Now at x equals to 0, because I have to use all integer values starting from -2 and ending on 4, starting on -2 ending on 4. So I'm using, first I used -2 then -1. Now at 0 there is no need of calculator. At x equals to 0 these two terms are eliminated, only y equals to 2 is left. So directly you can note down here, when you take x as 1 you can verbally solve it. 1 minus 2 is -1, -1 plus 2 is 1. So at x equals to 1 y is also 1. 1 square is 1, 1 minus 2, 2 times 1 is -2. So 1 minus 2 is -1, -1 plus 2 is 1. So this can be solved verbally. And then at x equals to 2, 2 square is 4, 4 minus 2 into 2 is 4, so 4 minus 4 is cancelled, y equals to 2. At x equals to 2, y is also 2. At x equals to 3, you can just substitute value of x as 3 in this equation. I'm directly solving with the help of a calculator, it's coming 5. At x equals to 3, it's again 5. And at x equals to 4, again it's 10. At -2 also it's 10, at -1 is also 5, and at 3 is 5, at 4 is 10. So this is showing that values of y are repeating here. At x equals to 0 y is 2, at x equals to 2 y is 2. So at x equals to 1 y is 1 is the smallest answer of y, and then again repeated values on both sides. So obviously quadratic graph is a parabola, just like a smiling face, as I told you earlier. This kind of shape is made, so it should be there in your mind before drawing this graph. So I have all these points. Now let me draw a table for this information. This is how you have to complete a table of results first of all, and then you can plot all these points on graph grid. And how you can plot it? Simply your values of x will tell you where you should place your y-axis, and value of range of values of y will tell you what should be the location of your x-axis. Values of y tells you the location of x-axis, and range of values of x tells you the location of y-axis. You can understand that. So my values of x are from negative to positive. Negative values are like from starting from -2 ending in 4. It means I need more space on positive x-axis as compared to negative x-axis. So on this graph I should draw my y-axis somewhere a little bit on left hand side as compared to that of on right hand side. Actually, it's difficult to draw a line on a screen, although I'm using a rule for this purpose, but still it is difficult to draw. Let me try to convert it into proper shape. Now it's better. Always use arrowheads at the edges of the line for x-axis as well as for y-axis, because these lines are going up to infinity. See, I have placed my y-axis a little bit on left hand side because range of values of x are starting from -2 ending on +4. So on positive side I need more graph paper, on negative side I need lesser one. So I shifted my y-axis a little bit left hand side. As I told you, range of values of x will tell you the position of y-axis, and range of values of y will tell me the position of x-axis. As I see, all my values of y are positive, no one value is coming as negative in this whole table of information. Like minimum answer that I can observe here is 1, and maximum answer that I observe is 10, which are associated with -2 and 4 both. So minimum answer is 1, maximum answer is 10. So I should place my x-axis as lower as possible. So I think I should place here. Almost correct, a little lower. Transform into redefined shape so it can be shifted a little bit. Yes, now it's looking better. Again I have to use arrowheads on the two edges, that is important part. And now you can label x-axis and y-axis as per given scale. For x-axis I can take 2 units as 1 because it's given. For these questions you can see this information is here: 2 centimeter to 1 unit for x-axis and 1 centimeter to 1 unit for y-axis. Now I'm just going to plot all these points here. I'm going to use some different color so you can see the points clearly. You have to draw with the help of pencil only. Do not use any pen for drawing graphs. Always use pencil and sharp pencil, and place your points with fine as a fine dots and encircle them. If you are using, there are two options: either you use a fine dot with circle or simply a cross. If it is a cross, it can easily be seen by the examiner that this is your plot. Or if it is a dot, you cannot be made like this. This is wrong method. What is the reason? Because a single point, if you observe it under microscope, you will find it's a union of a number of points. So making a single point should be very fine dot, as fine as possible. This is actually, if I enlarge this figure, you can see this is actually covering the whole region instead of a single position. So it's not exactly locating a particular position. So this is actually logically wrong. But if you take a sharp dot as sharp as possible and just encircle it, so examiner can search that point inside. Or the other way, easier way is to just make a cross, and then no need of encircling in case of cross, because the point can be read by the examiner for checking. Okay, hope you understand that, how you should plot the points. I'm trying to completely cover all the points which are necessary for this kind of graph plotting. So at -2, first of all I should scale my x-axis and y-axis. How scaling is done? Simply take two steps as per instruction in the question. 2 centimeters are representing 1 unit on x-axis, so this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. And at x-axis on negative side it is -1, it's -2. On y-axis, because no negative ranges were required, so I placed my x-axis as lower as possible. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. You should label axes as well, and then y-axis can be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we can plot the points. -2, 10. -2, 10 comes here. So fine dot with a small circle. The other one is at -1, 5. -1, 5 is here. On x-axis -1, at y-axis 5, and at 0 it is 2. At 0 it is 2, means this is actually y-intercept, so it's here. At 1 it is 1, so it's here. At 2 it is 2, so again it comes here. At 3 it's 5 again, so it comes here. At 4 it is 10, so at 4 it comes 10, so it comes here. Now I have plotted all the points, and you can see, as I predicted earlier, that this would be like a smiling face, and quadratic equation x square minus 2x plus 2 is a quadratic equation. So it has commonly always a shape of parabola, and it looks like this. Now you have to sketch a smooth curve through it. I'm going to sketch a smooth curve through these points. It's better to sketch it in one go, but you can split it, but don't overwrite. Overwriting actually should not be there. It's not like a herring line like this. This is actually wrong. I'm telling you what not to do. Oh, my part of curve is also fine. Connected. Okay. So this graph is plotted. Now, what is the next part of the question? This is actually the same part that you have already exercised in previous questions, question number 8 and question number 9. If graph is already drawn, how you can draw another line onto the graph to solve this equation? So if you check the format of our equation, it's y equals to x square minus 2x plus 2. And it's exactly the same in part A. X square minus 2x plus 2 is the same expression as in original question whose graph is already plotted. So we have to just do one thing, that this side is to be equated to y. So y equals to 8 is that line that is to be plotted here. So I'm just doing first part first of all. So y equals to 8 is a horizontal line, as all of you know. So I should draw a horizontal line here. This is actually a line. I think I should draw arrows at the corner because it's not ending up. These are not end points. Although you can restrict your graph up to these values which are corresponding to the interval in the question, but it is also allowed if you stretch it. That's not a problem. It's not actually penalized, right? So my graph is going from these 2 points. If I highlight them, it's better to encircle these points of intersection and then read them on x-axis, and if you draw a dotted line with it, that would be appropriate. So I'm just going to draw a dotted line over here. It gives me some value along x-axis at this point. Also I can do the same thing at the point of intersection. Actually on the screen it's just very difficult to sketch, but the value is coming somewhere over here. These are actually 2 points along x-axis which are actually the solution of this equation in part A. What are these values? I can enlarge it, but you cannot. But your graph has proper grids, so you can easily read it. I have 5 divisions in this interval of 0.5, and this is important to know how much your least count is. Listen, students, it's a carefully understanding matter, that you should understand that how many you have in between one unit. Like in this case, I have in between -1 and -2 there are 10 divisions. So every line is representing 0.1 for me. If you have 20 divisions, then you have to divide by 20. So your least count will come out, and then you have to read the graph up to half box accuracy. So as my line is coming over here in between 2 points, so I can read this as this is -0.5, -1.5, this is -2. So middle one is -1.5, -1.6, -1.7, and -1.8. This one is -1.7, this one is -1.8, and this value is lying in somewhere in middle. So -1.75 is my value, or you can take the average of the two values, you get the same answer. This is my answer on that side, and on this side it's exactly lying on the first point after 3.5, so this is 3.6. So these are two answers of part A. If I write here, part A has two answers, x equals to -1.75 or the other answer is 3.6. Let me check with the book answer. In question number 10, book answer is a little bit different from my answer, and it's not a matter to worry because it's actually a sketch, and you can see my curve is like hand drawn with free hand sketch, so it's not necessary that my answer will exactly match with the book answer. And I have shared one solution of past examination question with you along with the marking key related to that question, in which you can see there is always a sensible range of acceptance in this kind of question, because graphical solution is always an approximate solution of the equation, not exact solution. So if you have drawn it sensibly, whatever answer you get, that would be in acceptable range. Book answer is like 10a minus 1.65 and 3.65. So my answer is a little different. Book answer is, I should mention here, book answer for part A minus 1.65 or 3.65, and it's not matching exactly. So it happens, it will happen to you as well. So don't worry about it, because in graphical solution it happens, but sensible range is of acceptance is there in examination. So don't worry about it. It will definitely come in acceptance. Don't worry. Or you can just see that solution that I have already shared. I'll share another solution, solve question with you on Google Classroom, so you can check in that solution as well. Okay students, hope you get this. Now I'm moving forward to the next part. Next part says x square minus 2x plus 2 equals to 5 minus x. So in part B, we have to draw a straight line, because left hand side is exactly the same, x square minus 2x plus 2, but right hand side is saying 5 minus x. So I have to draw a line of y equals to, for part B, y equals to 5 minus x. This is exactly the same discussion as we have already had in classroom today, regarding arrangement of the equation in such a manner that one side reflects the same kind of expression that is given in the question, and the other side gives us equation of a line that is to be plotted on graph in order to get the solution of the equation. So this side is showing 5 minus x, right hand side of part B is showing 5 minus x. So I just picked up y equals to 5 minus x here, and now I am going to draw its graph. It's like its x-intercept is also 5, y-intercept is also 5. It's easier. There are multiple methods of drawing a straight line, but I do not recommend to draw a complete table just like for a parabola. Like for every value along x-axis, and you are calculating values of y and then plotting. It can be done, but it's wastage of time. In examination, this part won't have hardly 1 to 2 marks. So if you are just wasting so much time on this tabulation, table making, so you are actually penalizing time to yourself. So directly you can do one thing. You have multiple options. If equation is there, you can set different values of x and you can calculate different values of y from here. There is an interval from minus 2 to 4. So you have simply options, like you can take from minus 2. If you can take x as minus 2, y comes as 7. If you take x as 4, it becomes 1. So why not you can take extreme values in this case, which are allowed in this question, from minus 2 to 4. You can do it this way. Sometimes it happens that you try to find out the value of y with x equals to minus 2 and it's going outside the graph somewhere, like your line is going under x-axis and that point is not coming over here. So don't worry about it, just skip that point. You have multiple options available, so you can take some other point, and only two points are enough for sketching a straight line. There is no need of making a whole table, just 2 points are enough, but provided that the 2 points should lie on your graph. Always try to find out, this is my recommendation, not conditional, but it's my recommendation. You should try extreme values of x-axis in the interval given in the question. If the 2 points are already coming on the graph, you should go for them. Otherwise, if any one point is going outside, you can start from y-intercept that is 5 in this case. If you take x as 0, y equals to 5 is the y-intercept of this line. But fortunately we have both points are coming on this graph. If I take x as at x equals to minus 2 as the starting value, this is giving me y equals to 5 minus negative 2. So minus minus plus, so they are added together. So it becomes 7. So minus 2 comma 7, and it's easily reachable. So minus 2, 7 is here. At minus 2, it's 7. This is the point. Minus 2, 7. Along x-axis minus 2, at y-axis 7. And for last value along x-axis 4, at x equals to 4, my value of y. Remember, this working has no marks in graphical solution. This is only our own working, and I'm showing you how I'm calculating it. Otherwise, you can directly do it on calculator as well because it has no mark. I'm just showing you how to do it. That's why I'm doing it over here. So 5 minus x, x is 4, so it's 1. Y equals to 1. So at 4 it is 1. So at x-axis 4, y value is 1. It's coming over here. So we have the 2 points at the extreme edges. If any one point is going out of the grid, out of the range, then you can skip that point and you can take any other point like y-intercept or any x-intercept, whichever point is lying on your graph paper, you can just consider that point. Only 2 points are enough, but it's necessary that this graph, this straight line should pass through the graph at 2 points. If it is so, you should stretch it like this. So this line is intersecting our graph at 2 points, and we have to read that points of intersection as solutions. So this point is one point of intersection, the other point is over here. Now read them on x-axis. What comes on x-axis if you drop a perpendicular from this point? It comes somewhere over here, and this one comes somewhere over here. If I read this is like I think I should draw it with proper straight line. See here. So this one is like along x-axis, every point on my grid is 0.1, 0.1, because there are 10 divisions between between these two marked values along x-axis. So I should consider it as minus 1.4, minus 1.4, and the other value is coming somewhere over here, that is 2.3. So these are my answers, and let me check from book answers. Minus 1.3 and 2.3. Minus 1.4. My answer is coming minus 1.4, and it is definitely in acceptable range. And 2.3 is coming exactly same. So both answers are coming correct. So it's clear. And the last part is x square minus 2x minus 5 equals to 0. There is a difference in the term. In this part, you can see x square minus 2x are the common terms, but this minus 5 is extra. So you can do one thing, x square minus 2x. The terms which are already the same, keep them on left hand side. The term which is not same, throw it on the other side, but becomes plus 5 on the other side. Now what you need, On left hand side, just introduce it on both sides of the equation. So we need particularly plus 2. So just introduce plus 2 on both sides of the equation. Plus 2, 5 plus 2. So it's simply x square minus 2x plus 2 becomes equals to 7. Now I have left hand side exactly the same as the given equation and right hand side 7. So y equals to 7 should be the graph that should be plotted, as we have already discussed so many questions similar to this, how you can transform the given equation into the required form. Y equals to 7. This is the straight line that is to be plotted here, and it's simply a horizontal line, y equals to 7, and you have to just check their intersection points. It's not correct. Let me draw it again. Now it's better, but still I feel difficulty in sketching straight lines on graph because of this screen. It's quite slippery. So where these are intersecting, that are my answers. If I check closely what this value is along positive x-axis, again you can drop a perpendicular on x-axis, just read this value. So where it is lying, this is lying okay, it's lying at 3.4, and what the other value is, if I closely watch this value, this is minus 1, this is minus 1.5, 1.6, so it's minus 1.6. Minus 1.6, and the other value that I have found here is 3.4. These are my answers for part C. Minus 1.6 or 3.4, part C. Part C minus 1.45 and 3.45. Book answer is minus 1.45. My answer is minus 1.6. It's because my line is slided a little higher than actual line, so it's not exactly matching at that answer. But still, this is a considerable range. I always emphasize that don't worry about the acceptance. If you draw it, you'll definitely find your answers within the well. You won't find any difficulty in it. I hope you all understand that. So my lecture is going quite lengthier. I'm just going to share this recording. Even then, if you feel any difficulty, I'll share one solved question similar to this one from past. I've already solved that. I'm just going to share it on Google Classroom. You just watch it, you solve yourself, and then check from my solution. If your answers are not matching, then you already have my number, so you can contact me on WhatsApp. Let me write my number: +92302274 This is my WhatsApp number, so you can just WhatsApp me if you feel any problem. Thank you students, it's already quite much longer time. Do question number 18, 19 and 20 yourself, and hope after this whole description you will find it easier. Thank you students, take care. Allah Hafiz.